Yo, what's going on, snipers, and welcome back to our Detroit Red Wings franchise mode here in NHL 21. So in last episode, we had the last of the off-season, and we made some big free agent signings, including Patrick Kane. As you can see, he's leading us in points right now, 49 points in 39 games. We're up here at January 1st, and we're off to an okay start, 20-17-2, which does have us in contention for, I think, a wildcard spot. Yeah, a wildcard spot at the moment. Now, I was asking about doing some potential trades for this episode because I'd like to get the rest of the season done in this episode. And we do have one comment to go over from HawksFan88 again. And he says, I think you definitely need to go and try and get a new starting goalie if you want to make the playoffs. Your penalty kill and goals against numbers will probably improve if you get a better goalie. If your penalty kill is still struggling, you should try switching up your penalty kill lines a bit. Now, I totally agree with those comments. I was looking for a goaltender. Now, the situation is kind of weird because a lot of teams have worse goaltending combinations than us. And there's not really anybody that's actually on the block in terms of goalies at all whatsoever. Let's just actually show you guys Tristan Jarry's stats for now. So Jarry's off to an okay start. He's 500, but the 329 goals against and the 899 or 898 save percentage is just not really cutting it. But I was looking at other teams, and there is literally no goalies on the block almost, except for ones that wouldn't really fit us, and they're not much of an upgrade. So I don't think we're going to be able to trade for a goalie just yet. Maybe at the deadline we could actually do a trade for a goalie. But right now I think I'm going to upgrade our defense a bit, just because I'm not really impressed with one defenseman, and you guys might know who that is because we had to re-sign him in the middle of the off-season last year. He was an RFA. But as you can see, there's literally no goalies that are starters on the block, which is kind of weird. I've never seen that happen before. So, and there's goaltending combinations that have 65 overall goalies as backups. So our goaltending situation looks a lot better than most teams. Well, I wouldn't say most teams, but a lot of teams. So we're probably not going to be able to trade for a goalie, which kind of sucks a lot. But at the moment, we're going to just try and upgrade our defense to kind of improve a bit. And we're actually going to be trading with the team we're playing in the same day, which is kind of funny. So I'm going to be trying to trade for John Marino. Because John Marino, he is on a struggling Pens team. He's 81 overall. He's got 1 year left. And he's only a +6. He's one of the best plus-minus players on the team. He might be able to be a pretty good plus defenseman for a team like us that is actually potentially going to make the playoffs. Now, he has had some bad defensive seasons, but those are worse teams than probably what we have right now. So we're going to try and trade for John Marino, and we're going to try and give them Emil Viro, even though they don't really need Viro and they don't want Viro. I would like to get rid of Viro because even though he's only 23, he's been very bad defensively. He's only got an 81 defensive awareness, but he's a -23 in 84 games, and he's got 15 points, so he's been kind of concerning. So we're going to move him out in this trade and see if this goes through 1-for-1. If it doesn't, we could always add in maybe a late pick, but let's see if this goes through, and that is accepted. Okay, perfect. So that upgrades our defensive situation a bit. Yes, it does suck for Viro to get moved, but we would have had to move him out eventually because we do have a lot of good defensive prospects in the system, so I think this one makes sense for us. Also, we do have a lot of injury problems at the moment. We do have Sider out with an injury till February, so this helps solidify our defense for a bit longer. And then also, what was I going to say? Oh, yeah, we also have Filip Zadina out with an injury, but he will be back in 5 days. So we'll do something like that. So, yeah, John Marino makes this defense a bit stronger. I think he will fit pretty well. Does he fit our system? He's even across all lines, which is pretty good. So I think we picked up a pretty good defenseman. He'll probably be playing on the on the top 6 once Sider comes back, but yeah, I think that was a pretty good pickup. And yeah, hopefully we could upgrade the goaltending situation still in this episode when we get to the deadline. So let's get closer to the deadline, see if we could win some games without Zadina for, one game at least without Zadina. But yeah, this team is, I think we were struggling lately. No, we were actually doing pretty good as of here. Yeah, we won 4 out of our last 5 games, so this team has been doing actually pretty good without our, well, I wouldn't say 2 best players, but 2 of our best players. So yeah, let's go 1 week at a time, maybe. No, actually, we should go a little bit quicker than that. Let's go to the 15th, see how we do. And we lose to the Penguins 2-1. That's not good. We're still listed as a seller, which I don't like, and we just lost 5-1. Well, Zadina is back, so that's good. Don't have to run with Jonathan Toews on the first line. There he goes, Zadina back in. Oh, there's 2 straight wins. Nice, I like that. 3 straight wins, 4, 5 straight wins. Okay, I'm liking that. Maybe Jerry actually could be a good starter for us, but I don't know if he'll be a good playoff goalie is the only problem. But all of a sudden, we've won 5 in a row after dropping 2 games to start the month. Like that a lot. Let's go to February the 1st because we would like to get to the deadline. There's another win, and there's a loss to end our winning streak, but that was a pretty good winning streak to have. And now we lost 2 in a row again. Yeah, this seems a bit inconsistent. And you could totally see that here because 2 losses and then all of a sudden a 6-game winning streak. 6-game winning streak, and then we lost 3 in a row. How are we standings wise? We are still out of a playoff spot with 54 points. The last wildcard spot has 59 now. Yikes, we're kind of falling a bit out of it, which is not good, but maybe if we pick up a good piece at the deadline, that will help us. Let me just take a quick look at Jari's stats again, see if they've improved at all. I can't remember what his goals against was, but I remember his save percentage was an 898. It's up to an 899, so he is improving a bit. How about Mr. Howes? Howes has been amazing as a backup. I really like those numbers. Like, he might be the only reason we make the playoffs if we do. But he'll probably be our starter next season, I'm assuming. Okay. So I don't think I want to make any line changes just yet. I didn't want to do that. But, yeah, hopefully this team continues to win games. We're going to slowly get our way to the deadline. This episode might be a bit long just because I'm taking the sim engine a bit slow, but I would like to be a bit cautious with this team. We go 1-1 in those 2 games. Okay, let's go another 3 games. Why not? And Harvey Jenner is back, but was he ever injured in the AHL? No, he wasn't. Harvey Jenner is probably going to be in the NHL maybe by next season. I don't know, but he's off to a pretty good start in the AHL for his first year. And Moritz Seider is back. That is big news. Big news. Okay, so now that will help us out defensively, which means we're going to take out Adam Ginning. And we will be throwing in Moritz Seider. And we'll be moving Marino down. And yeah, I think that's pretty much that. Yeah, that looks pretty good. So yeah, our defense does look a lot improved with John Marino in it instead of Emil Viro, because Emil Viro would have been at like a 79 down here. So, and Marino almost works, it seems like, with everybody, so I like that too. Yeah, we lose to Montreal, lose to LA, and Kubalik has been injured now. That's not good. We'll go replace player, and we lose another 4 games in a row, actually. And yeah, this team is now starting to fall out of the mix in the playoffs. So maybe let's take a quick look and see if there's any goalies yet out there that we could trade for, because this team needs wins, and they need them now, because if we lose too many in a row, we are not going to be a playoff team. Let's see, any goalies on the block yet? Because it doesn't seem like there's much out there. Oh, some goalie got injured. Huh. But yeah, like, see, there's only like Rene and Ingram, but those guys aren't upgrades. I mean, maybe they'd be a cheese goalie, but you never know. But like, literally, there's like nobody on the block that teams want to move, which is kind of annoying, especially when you need a goalie. Like, I mean, Hunter Jones at 80 wouldn't be bad, I would say, but he's more of a backup. He does actually have some pretty good numbers in the NHL, but I don't really want to run with 2 80s and then get rid of Jerry that way. And Jelkovic isn't good, and this guy's definitely not going to get moved out. But yeah, there's a lot of like 4-string goalies that are like 78s that wouldn't really help us either. And then there's guys like David Rittich who's got 2 years left. Like, there's guys that have multiple years that I don't really want. Like, there's Robin Leonard, but he's signed for a pretty big contract, I'm pretty sure. When I was looking, yeah. And then also there's guys like Ulmark, but he doesn't really make much sense. And then, yeah, as I was saying, Robin Leonard, 4 years at 8.24 is a bit too steep for me, especially when he's 34. And then there's also guys like Grubauer that are getting paid a lot as well for multiple years. So it just doesn't seem like there's a goalie option out there for us, which kind of sucks. So we might have to continue upgrading our like bottom six and stuff instead. Or maybe I'll just adjust the penalty kill lines like Hawks fan suggested. Yeah, let's just adjust the penalty kill lines, see if that helps us out, because Kane's dropping off a cliff, jeez. But he still has a lot of points. Maybe we want to adjust some of these lines. Nazem Kadri's dropping off, Shaw is staying a bit where he is. What do we want to do? We do have an injury at the moment. I could move Goddett up, but that minuses that line, which is not good. Yeah, I think I'll just adjust the penalty kill lines. See what the penalty kill lines look like, because our penalty kill has been struggling. Kadri and Shaw is okay. I think Willinder and Sider. I don't know about Willinder being on the penalty kill. 84 defensive awareness is not great. Ethan Bear's got 88, so we'll move Ethan Bear up. But she gives that a minus for some reason. I don't know about Wall being on the... Wall's actually a plus 21, despite being on the penalty kill. Must be because of his power play time, though. And Linder's a plus 20. Yeah, that top pairing's actually been pretty good together, but Bear and Sider and stuff, And maybe we'll leave the penalty kill the way it is and just switch around defensive lines, because this top pairing has been really good. His second pairing, not fantastic. And this third pairing, John Marino's a plus 7, so he's a plus 1 with us right now, which is pretty good. But Biggs is a minus 8. I might do something like that. Try Biggs with Sider and then Bear with Marino, just to shape things a little bit differently. Oh, I really wish we could upgrade our goaltending situation, because Jerry's back down to an 898 again. But there's literally like no goalies on the block. Or that makes sense. Like, I don't really want to make an unrealistic deal, but I might have to at some point. Well, let's go closer to the deadline. I'd like to get to the deadline, and then we'll actually get the deadline done. Let's go 3 more games. Come on, team. Game against Philadelphia is another loss, and Kubalik is back. That's good news. But yeah, this team is probably not going to be a playoff team this year once again, which really sucks. But I mean, maybe we'll get a good prospect in, because we're right around 500. So we're probably how much points back now of a playoff spot? 59 points. Last wildcard has 68. Yeah, we are falling far out of it. Like, I don't know if I should even do the deadline in this episode, because maybe I should be trading away guys instead that have 1 year left on on their deals. Because this team does not look good right now, and then Jari just got injured, so maybe that's a good sign. I don't know, because he hasn't been great. And we'll call up probably Eliasson. Yeah, because I don't want to really fluctuate with the AHL goalies. We'll just call up Eliasson, because he's been scratched, I think, down there. And yeah, he'll probably go back through waivers, but that's okay. And Rohan House, or is it Rohan House? Yeah, Rohan House is going to get the chance to be our starting goaltender. Maybe that's what we needed, is just Jerry to go down. Let's see how House does. Okay. So there's some points and a loss. So we'll probably go in as a conservative seller, because I think this team does need to maybe trade away players. Like Zadina is going to be a UFA at the end of this season. So, and I don't know if he's going to want to come back, is the only problem. And I don't really want to let him just walk, but I would rather re-sign him if we can. Let's take a look at... So these are the top 10 players. I don't even know if we could make a trade in this, to be honest. Let's take a look at the trading block. Or that's our trading block, right? Yeah, it is. Does anybody have any good goalies that they want to move at all? Available. Let's see. Is there any goalies? There's Peter Mrazek, but Peter Mrazek is not good, I don't think. He is a 78. Yeah, that's not good enough. Like, it might be a cheese goalie to help in the playoffs, but I honestly think this team's just gonna miss the playoffs this year, and we might have to just move out some random players. that have 1 year left. Like, maybe we just run with Howes and Elias and the rest of the year and get rid of, Jerry while we can. Casey DeSmith, 83 starter, 1 year left. He's probably not that great, because if he's on the block, his team's probably not doing so well, I would assume. Let's take a look actually at the trades. Are the goalies available again on this instead? But I think we're just gonna have to flip some guys that have 1 year left on their deals, because this team just is not doing enough. Like, we do have a lot of AHL defensemen that we could call up if need be. Casey DeSmith has been really bad, yeah. Yeah, I don't know if we're gonna be able to pick up a goalie. Keith, no thank you. Anybody else interesting? Corey Crawford, but he's a 78 and he's 41. Yeah, there does not seem to be anything really that we could do in terms of deals, which is kind of concerning, because like a lot of these goalies are just AHL kind of goalies to an extent. Like, Aaron Dell wouldn't even be a much of an upgrade at all. He's having a horrendous season too. Yeah, I don't think we're going to be able to make any deals for a goalie this year, which really sucks, but hopefully House is a good starter next season. Georgiev on the block, okay. That's a goaltender now. Let's take a look. He's not been great. Yeah, he's actually been pretty bad. Yeah, I don't think we're going to be able to pick up a goaltender. But let's take a look at who we have for contracts that have 1 year left that we could move out, because I think this team is definitely going to have a bad season, and it's best to move out some guys with 1 year left. We could move out somebody like Patrick Kane, but I would rather maybe keep Kane just because he's been putting up points, but he has a good chunk of value. So there's Kane. Veleno I'm going to re-sign again. Zadina's a UFA, but I think I'll try and get him back. Hopefully he wants to come back. Yeah, Kane, maybe we do move out. I could move out Kane, but we'll take a look at what else we got here. Ethan Bear's got 1 year left. He's probably going to get replaced by a defenseman in free agency, or not in free agency, by one of our young prospect defensemen. Kadri's also got 1 year. Suzuki, Marino, Godet. Yeah, there's definitely players we can move right now. Shaw. Let's just see. Can we do a fine trade in this? Yeah, let's do a fine trade right now and see what we could get for some of those guys with 1 year left. Like I said, I don't think I'm moving Zadina, but I would be okay with moving a lot of the other ones. Not AHL wise. So Andrew Shaw, what could Andrew Shaw fetch us? The Blackhawks want him back for a 4th and a 6th. That's not too bad. Get some 4th and a 6th rounder. So we might move out Shaw, but we'd have to. We have some guys we could call up. Who else that I could move? I don't know if I wanted to move John Marino yet because I just picked him up. Godet, what can we get for Godet? A 3rd and a 6th. That's pretty decent for a guy that we signed in free agency. A 3rd and a 4th from Tampa Bay. That's pretty good. I might do that Tampa Bay deal for Godet, but we got to take a look at the other deals potentially too. Kadri with 1 year, a 2nd and a 5th. The 2nd and a 5th from Tampa Bay. How about Ethan Bear? A 2nd and a 6th. Okay, so looks like Ethan Bear-wise, Kadri-wise, we could get 2nds for. How about Patrick Kane? Can we get a 1st round pick from anybody? Nobody wants him. Really? Yeah, I might keep Kane around for this year. Anybody else interesting that I could move out? Not really, I don't think. A lot of 1 year deals actually with this team. So I think what I will do, I wouldn't mind keeping Kadri around even because he's probably gonna be retiring soon. I think we move out Ethan Bear and then call up one of our guys from the AHL. Yeah, I think that's what I'm going to do, because Ethan Bear is more than likely going to be on his way out soon, because we do have a lot of young defensemen in the system. So yeah, I think we're going to move out Ethan Bear. The question is, which one of these do we do? And then I might actually move out Godet as well and call up somebody from the minors. So it sucks that we have to be trading away a lot of players though, because I wanted to make the playoffs this year, but I don't see it happening. So I think I'll take Vancouver's. Yeah, we'll trade Ethan Bear to Vancouver for a second and a 6th rounder. So thank you, Ethan Bear, for your time here. Best of luck in Vancouver. So there's one trade done. Ethan Bear gone to Vancouver, and like I said, I think I'm going to trade away Godet as well. Or who was it that was getting offered like a 2nd and a 4th or something? I think it was Godet, right? Or no, maybe it was Kadri that was getting offered that. Where's Godet? I don't even remember what position Godet plays. Oh, there he is. Let's search again. Oh yeah, the 3rd and the 6th. Who was it that it said? I think it was Kadri that had the multiple ones, right? Yeah, but I don't think we could. I don't really feel like we could trade Kadri, because or else then we would have to move up, say, Suzuki and stuff, and yeah, I think I might just move Godet. A 3rd and a 4th from Florida, that might be enticing. And oh yeah, the 3rd and 4th from Tampa Bay. Which one do we trade him to? I think I'll trade him to the Florida Panthers, because I feel like Florida will be worse, but I don't know for sure. So thank you for your time here, Godet. Best of luck in Florida. And that's 2 guys gone, and I don't think we're going to move anybody else, because I'd like to keep Valeno around. Kadri's maybe going to retire, and if he hits free agency, it's not the worst because he's a bit of an older dude. So that's probably fine. On the center front, 1 year. Zadina, I want to keep around, I'm pretty sure. Jordan Martinu with 1 year left. It's okay to just hit free agency. I don't really care about trading him away. Giovanni Smith is going to come up from the AHL probably. Patrick Kane and Andrew Shaw could stay as well because they're old. And then defensively, Yennin and Marino are okay to have 1 year left just because Savonen's growing good, Tuparainen's growing really good. I'm going to have to call up one of them, which means the AHL system is probably going to take a hit a little bit with how they're doing this season, but that's okay. And Jari's injured. We could always just run with House and Elias, and honestly, let's just see what we could get for Jerry. A 4th round pick. It's better than him just hitting free agency, and we got offered a trade. Rupe Hintz for a 2nd and a 3rd. No, thank you. I don't really need Rupe Hintz now, and his contract is not good. I don't know why it closes the trade thing when that happens, but who was it that offered a 4th? I think it was Buffalo. Yeah, I think I might just move out Tristan Jarry and just play our 2 like House and Eliason, because then that will help us tank a bit. And maybe we could get a 1st overall pick that's a good forward, because we do not have a good forward prospect really, other than Jenner. So we'll go to draft picks, and we'll take your 4th round pick, Buffalo, and we'll move Jerry there because this team is going to be tanking the rest of the year. And I think it makes sense to do this. He's injured at the moment. I don't know why they're trading for an injured goalie, but maybe it's because it's not too long term. But we'll do this deal. Even though we're 500, this team's not going to be a playoff team, unless we were to win like pretty much every game down the stretch. So, okay, that's all our trades. We're not actually at the minimum cap floor, which is kind of concerning. Means we might need to acquire some cap, potentially. Or I think it'll just adjust salaries accordingly. So I think those are going to be our 3 trades that we do. Is there anybody, though, on the trading block that has got some potential, maybe? Or anybody that's willing to be moved out that is young, that has potential that we could get? Doesn't look like it is yet. We want some people that would probably make it. I want the youngest guys that have good potential. This guy's got medium elite potential, but probably not going to make it. We don't really need defensemen either. I think we just go with what we have right now, and then at the draft we could get these good young guys that we need for forwards, because we don't have a lot of them. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to make any more moves. I think the rest of that makes a lot of sense. And I wish there was a way just to advance in like an hour or something in this, but there isn't. Okay, let's quit the trade deadline because those are the deals that we're going to move. And I'm going to have to readjust everybody's lines. And there you go. So I'm just going to quickly adjust the lines, guys, and then I'll see you guys in a second. Okay, guys, so here's our lines for the rest of the season. So we got Zadina, Larkin, Kane, Raymond, Foligno, Kubalik, Guerin, Kadri, Shaw, and Suzuki, Tays, and Martin Nuke. As for defense, we got Wall and Sider, Marino, Molinder, and Savonin is going to get called up just because he's a defensive defenseman, so he should play good with bigs. And yeah, that's pretty much our team. And then goalie-wise, House and Eliason. And then depth-wise, we got Ginning and Smith. And then AHL-wise, I think stayed pretty much the same, except for we had to call up Savonin. So they lost a good defenseman, but they do still have Tuppurainen and Lacerte, Lorcainen and Koch, and then Sabrango and McIsaac. So a pretty good defensive pairing still, even with that loss. So let's get the rest of the season simulated. Really sucks that we had to move away guys that had 1 year left, but this team is probably not going to make it. 62 points. We're 15 points back in our own division of that wildcard spot, and then 8 points back of the Hurricanes. I don't see us ever coming back from that. And yeah, that's probably why I had to move out all those guys. So let's get the rest of the season done, even though this episode is already at 29 minutes. I don't think I'm going to sim to the awards in this episode, but yeah, we'll just find out, I guess, like the player stats and stuff like that at the end, and that's pretty much that. So Shaw has been injured with an MCL sprain, so once again we're hitting injury problems. That's probably why we've lost a lot of games this season. There's some wins. I'm surprised we're winning games down the stretch, to be honest, because we literally got rid of like a lot of our good players. Like, it seems like bad goalies simulate better than good ones, but are bad goalies really bad if they're good? Just their overall, I guess. But yeah, this team's winning a lot more than I expected now. But hopefully we get a pretty good pick still. We lost 10-1 to Montreal. Okay. Yeah, we're just staying right around 500, but we are winning games right near the end of the season, which will probably hurt us in terms of our draft pick, unless we get really lucky with the draft lottery results. Okay, team, why are you winning so much? Okay, we won way too much down the stretch. 41, 36, and 5 we finished this season, and we finished just outside of a playoff spot by like 9 points. Yeah, I knew we weren't going to come back, but 87 points. We finished above 500 as well. 41, 36, and 5. Well, technically 500, I guess you could say. And Kane had 102 points on a team that didn't make the playoffs. So MVP of the season definitely going to Patrick Kane. Let's take a look at our player stats, and then we'll take a look at the team stats as well. And then I think that'll be it for this episode. We'll actually take a look at the draft class and stuff like that as well. So Larkin, 88 points and a plus 24, so that top line was really good despite our team being really bad. Foligno, 54 points, Kadri, 37 points, Suzuki, 22 points, and Tays, 15 points. So I think our offense was pretty good. It seems like we had trouble keeping the puck out of the net. Zadina had 74 points in 74 games because he did miss some games due to injury. Kubalik, 45 points, Guerin, 38 points. That's pretty good for a third liner. And then Martinuk, 19 points. So Guerin is now up to 64 career points. He's probably going to have a pretty good season soon, like a 50-point season, I would assume. Like maybe next year. Patrick Kane, though, 102 points. That is ridiculous to put up that much points on a bad team. Like, I'm really surprised nobody offered for him at all. Lucas Raymond, 45 points. Andrew Shaw, 17 points. And Giovanni Smith had 3 points in 12 games when he did play. Defensively, Wall had 35 points. Not too bad, but he is not really the offensive defenseman I thought he was going to be. He's more of a two-way defender, it seems like. Sider, 23 points in 61 games. Missed a lot due to injury. Wallinger, 21 points. Big, 16. Marino, 12. And he was a plus 11. Wow. He was a plus 5 with us. That's not too bad. I like that. Getting 5 points, and Savonin had 1 goal in his 20 games and was an even 0. So Savonin actually helped us out defensively, it seems like. So I kind of like that a lot. Definitely a defensive defenseman, but he doesn't seem to take a lot of penalties, which is good. And then goalie-wise, House was pretty good for when he was starter for a bit. So he actually might be our starting goaltender next season. 18-12-3 with 1 shutout and 9-12 save percentage and a 2.74. Obviously, that did go down a bit. Like, his stats went down a bit, or I guess you could say up a bit, because it was not good in a sense. But he was a better backup, I think, than a starter. But hopefully, he's a good starter for next season. And Eliason was really, really bad. But I expected that because I kind of wanted to tank a bit. Let's take a look at the entire league for stats for why not. So most points was Jack Eichel with 106. So Patrick Kane was top 3 in points on a team that didn't make the playoffs. That's kind of ridiculous. Best for goals was Tyler Seguin with 52. So Kane almost led the league in goals as well, which is kind of crazy. Best plus minus wise, Neil Pionk at a plus 56. And Travis Sanheim. Geez, Philadelphia is really good right now. Defensively, most points was Pietrangelo with 72. John Carlson with 70. And Quinn Hughes with 67. Let's see, goalies, most wins was John Gibson, Carter Hart, and Vegas. So Philadelphia is doing good without Carter Hart, which is kind of crazy. Most shutouts was Mackenzie Blackwood. Most best save percentage by a starter, Carter Hart with a 923. And best goals against by a starter was Carter Hart as well with a 2.4. Most assists by a goalie, let's just check that for fun. John Gibson with 6 assists. And wow, Linus Ullmark had a goal and an assist this season? Okay. Maybe we should have traded for him. That's funny. And the best rookie this year for points was Cole Sillinger with 54 points. And an Ola Olsen, 46. And Ridley Greig also with 46. Okay. That's pretty good. So let's take a look at the team stats just because I want to see what went wrong for our team this year. What we could improve upon for next year. So in terms of goals for per game, I feel like we are not that bad offensively. Yeah, we're right here with a 3.09. It wasn't the greatest, but Patrick Kane and the top line seemed to be the one that was doing the best. Goals against was our problem, but it was not the worst actually in the league. Yeah, our goals against wasn't horrendous. The 3.23, it's like right around probably 16th or 17th, I'm guessing. But yeah, we actually didn't do that bad defensively. Power play at 20.5% is not that bad either. That puts us like right in the middle. And our penalty kill though. Yikes, yeah, our penalty kill was our downfall, 76.3%. So we need to maybe find some good penalty killers in the draft and stuff. 3 shorthanded goals for, 19, 20, and 2 on home ice, and 22, 16, and 3 on the road. 7 and 3 in our last 10, which is kind of ridiculous because this team should not have been that good down the stretch. Okay, let's take a look at the draft class, and I think also I'll show you guys the contracts so you can see who has one. You're left still again, and then that'll be it for this episode, just because this is almost a 40-minute episode at this point. And yeah, hopefully you guys like the treat of a long episode. But so here's the draft class. I'll just scroll through this a little bit. If you guys see anybody you want us to go for, let me know. I don't know how high we're going to be drafting, but probably not too high up unless we get really lucky. But yeah, that's pretty much like the first round and a bit after that. Let's take a look at those contracts quickly. So contract-wise, who's got 1 year left? Nobody on the main roster. Actually, no, wait. Main roster-wise, there you go. So Giovanni Smith, Taze, Martinuk, those type of guys probably will leave. Marino probably will leave as well to open a roster spot. Maybe not. Andrew Shaw will probably leave. Kadri will probably leave. Zadina's probably going to try and get re-signed, but it might be really tough too. Patrick Kane might come back. I don't know. He'll probably drop off a lot. Suzuki and Narara definitely will come back. And in goalie-wise, yeah, that's pretty much that. So, yeah, we don't have a whole lot of important contracts to deal with. Well, we do, but most of the guys are probably just going to be let go of to make up room for young guys, I would assume. So anyways, guys, that's going to do it for this episode of our Detroit Red Wings franchise mode. I apologize that this episode's 37 minutes or so, but yeah, anyways, hopefully you guys like this, and yeah, get me your feedback and opinions for next episode. That would be very helpful. And yeah, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.